Okay. We're going to thread the machine first. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a colored thread. On the normal operation, you would use the monofilament, and the monofilament just sits on the table. A thread spool sits on the thread stand. You're going to go up through the thread guide hole. You're going to go through this guide. You're going to go down from the top and back up through the bottom. Don't twist it around that. Go over the top of the disc in between. Go down below the disc in between, then over the top of the spring and down under the L-shaped guide. You go through this thread guide next. You go through this thread guide at the take-up lever next, and then you follow the thread guides down to the machine. There's one here. There's one here. And then on this bottom thread guide, the needle bar thread guide, you go through the hole, through the top hole right to left, and the bottom hole left to right. And again, you don't twist it around it. You just go in on one and out the other. Then you're going to thread the needle from front to back. On this machine, when you put a needle in, there's a wrench in the drawer that will allow you to loosen the needle bar screw. The needle comes out. When you put a new one in, be sure to put the long groove on the needle facing the operator. There's a little scallop on the back side when it's in the machine. It'll be this scallop right here. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is the bobbin case. If you pull on the lever, the bobbin case will come out of the machine. If you have the thread coming off the top of the bobbin, you lay it in the bobbin case, put it in this notch, pull it around and under the tension. Then the thread goes up through the hole on the post. When you get done, you want to leave about 1.5 inches of thread sticking out. You're going to hold it in your fingers like this, and you're going to put, go back under, you're going to put the thread, the bobbin case on the post and click to hear the click. You always want to hear the click when you put the bobbin case in. Okay, so that's the threading on the machine. It's in the instruction manual also, but that gives you a quick reference on how to thread the machine. Okay, we're going to wind the bobbin now. The bobbin thread sits on here and it stays on here all the time and goes up through the hole in the top of the bobbin of the thread stand. We're going to take the bobbin, place it on the post. The thread goes through this hole, around the discs, and back through the hole again. Then you take your bobbin thread, you wrap it around the post, around the bobbin, tie a knot in it, and pull it back again. You're going to close this and the bobbin will wind as the machine sews. Now, there are different ways to tie that knot in that bobbin. That's just the way that I do it. I wrap it around, I loop it, and then I go around the other way for a while. As the machine's running, it will sew. When it's finished filling, it'll cut off by itself. You should tell your operator that anytime they take a bobbin out of the machine, they should put it on the top and rewind it rather than, there's a method to wind a bobbin on this machine without sewing, but you're better off if you wind the bobbin while you're sewing. Okay. There's two different emblems that we're going to work with. One of them is the R2, which requires this guide to sew it, and this patch pad. The other one is the R1, which requires this guide and this patch pad. In order to change them, this unscrews here, comes off, this goes on here, and you just tighten it down. To change this with the machine off, you lift this up and you can loosen the screw. This slides off, this slides on, and you put your screw back in. So you screw the screw back in here. Finger tighten is all that's necessary. Now this machine, other than the program, would be ready to sew this. But so we can do it one more time, I'm going to change it back over to name only. So I take this out. Take this off. Put this on. Put this back on. Now, some people will leave this on and sew the name and just eye where this goes. I suggest that in order to keep your consistency, you take the time to take this off and put the name back on, because it keeps the distance here from here to the emblem the same, which is important. And with the other one, you'd have to put the pocket under the clamp, and that's not too good, although it's feasible that you could do it if you want. We're going to put this back on, lay these over to the side. Now, next thing we're going to do is turn the machine on. The screen will show the Juki image, and then after a few seconds it'll show your actual image that's there. You'll notice there's two folders here. P1 is for name, as it says up here, and I'm sorry, P1 is for company, what it says up here, and P2 is for name, which it says up there. So we're going to run names, so we're going to leave it on P2, and all we have to do after that is press this button. And I'm going to push this and stop right there. Okay. The operator is going to load the shirt with the pocket under the clamp. Normally there would be a button here, and she'd line up the button to the red line. If after she's loaded it, she's going to press the right pedal. That'll cause the clamp to go down. If she wants it back up, she just presses it again, so she gets it where she wants it. Okay. Then she's going to take the emblem and lay it in the machine like that. She's going to press the left pedal, and it will sew it for her. Okay. Now that's what we would do for all of our names that we wanted to do. And I'm just going to lay them under here now and sew them without worrying about a pocket. Okay, and then when she's done with her names, she's going to choose PO1 for company, and she's going to change this going to take this patch pad off. Going to put the larger patch pad back on. Just going to put the screw back in. And then before she sews, she's going to look at the screen one more time and make sure that says company. If it doesn't, she needs to choose the key to cause it, and at this point all she has to do is touch it and it will change. I'm going to change it, and I'll change it back. So if I do that, automatically loads a pattern for them. I can't stress enough that they do that, because if they put this clamp on and they try to sew, they have the company on and they haven't changed the name, it's going to make a lot of noise when it tries to sew through the metal. And the same thing is true with the name. They have the name on and they try to sew the company, it's going to come down and hit the frame for the company. So after we've done that, we're going to load the shirt again with the pocket, and I'm just going to lay the shirt in. Again, if you had a button, you'd be lining it up to the center of the button. Lay the company in. Left pedal, kick. And then she would just continue that operation until she got done. Okay, again, the right makes your nest go down, the part that you lay your emblem into. If you want it to come back up, you press it again. And it's down if you press the left when your patch pad, or the thing that holds the emblem down, goes down. You press it again, it'll come back up. Once both of them are down, if you kick the pedal, the machine will sew. If you kick this pedal here, it will sew. That should be it. If you have any questions, just give us a call.